couple of things about testosterone. That's where we left off yesterday. We got a call about testosterone, and there's a couple of things about albumin and testosterone I want to talk about. But before I get into that, for you guys who are dealing with low T issues, if you're older, if you find that you're in the gym and you just can't gain the muscle mass that you want, or you're getting body fat and you can't get rid of belly fat, or if your sex drive isn't what it used to be, or if you're using testosterone or androgel and you're not getting the benefits that you want, chances are your body is an estrogenic female hormone, estrogenic mode. Estrogen, of course, is much more than a female hormone, but it does have feminization properties. Also, the chances are pretty good that you're dealing with insulin resistance. So if you're having problems with testosterone, either low T or low T effects, if you're in the gym not getting the benefits that you want, or if you're taking testosterone and not getting the benefits, the chances are good either A, that you're dealing with excess feminization, excess estrogen. Estrogen is a stress hormone, and it's made in body fat. The more body fat you have, the more estrogen you're going to be producing. Men and women, folks. Men and women. If that's not a reason to get rid of that body fat, I don't know what it is, guys. I don't know what it is. Body fat means feminization. Body fat means feminization. So losing that body fat's the first thing that you want to do. There's also great anti-estrogenic foods you can use. Probably the cruciferous vegetables are the most important of the anti-estrogenic foods. Broccoli, kale, cabbage, cauliflower. If you don't like those kinds of foods, learn to like them. One of the great tricks that you could use for broccoli and cauliflower, these medicinal cruciferous vegetables, if you don't like the taste of them, is to steam them, use butter and salt. Steam your broccoli, steam your cauliflower, steam your kale, throw in a bunch of butter, or any kind of oil really, but I like butter, and then sprinkle liberally Celtic sea salt on top. There's nobody that doesn't like steamed broccoli or steamed cauliflower with butter and salt, or very few folks don't like that kind of stuff. Cruciferous vegetables have their sugars released when they are steamed slightly, very, very, very slightly. Steam your cruciferous vegetables, add butter and salt. Wonderful anti-estrogenic foods. Anti-feminization foods, also good for women who are dealing with estrogen issues like cysts and fibroids. You'll notice that a lot of the things that we talk about as being associated with estrogen or excess estrogen are also associated with excess insulin. This insulin, estrogen, insulin, testosterone relationship is very, 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 very important for lots of reasons, but primarily because we have control. We have control over our insulin. This is so fundamental, folks. We've got 100 million Americans dealing with insulin issues. We have control. You don't need a doctor. You don't need insurance companies. You don't need metformin. You don't need prescription drugs. You don't need a pharmacist. You don't need any medical intervention to deal with insulin issues, and this is the key to dealing with anabolism, building. So, number one, cruciferous vegetables. Number two, essential fatty acids, especially omega-3 fatty acids. They have stabilizing, estrogen stabilizing effects. They contain phytoestrogens that can stabilize toxic excess estrogens that the body makes. Flaxseed, hemp seed, all omega-3 oils pretty much. Eggs, same way. And wild fish, wild-caught salmon especially, fatty fish, contain these estrogen blockers, if you will. There are herbs that can do it. Passion flower, chamomile flower. There's something called tribulus that has anti-estrogenic properties. Nuts, raw nuts and seeds can help. Avocados can help. Olives can help. These are all wonderful anti-estrogenic food substances. They taste great, and they're great ways to help stabilize excess estrogen if you're dealing with low T, which may be not just low T, but excess estrogen. I like zinc as a testosterone-building nutrient. Vitamin A is very important as well. In fact, vitamin A and zinc go together. As I said yesterday, when you're using zinc, make sure you balance it out with copper. And, of course, whey protein, super, super androgenic building and pro-testosterone. So those are some great food strategies for you guys if you're dealing with low T and that don't involve having to use androgel or testosterone injections. And if you are using androgel and testosterone injections, these kinds of strategies can make those medical interventions much more effective and allow you to lower your dose even, perhaps, of your testosterone injections or your androgel. Okay, So this whole idea of building, anabolism, super, super, super important. Catabolism is also important. Breakdown. There's all this balance between breakdown and build up. In science, we call it anabolism for building, A-N-A, anabolism for building, catabolism for breaking down. Together they make up metabolism. If anybody ever told you or you ever said, oh, it's my metabolism, or I've got a fast metabolism, or I've got a slow metabolism, what you're really talking about is this balance between the breakdown of the body and the buildup of the body, the catabolic response, the breakdown response, and the anabolic response, the buildup response. You want these things to be in balance. Obviously, you want more anabolism, more buildup than breakdown, but you do need to have breakdown. You can't put new wine in old vessels. You got to have a breakdown that precedes the build-up. In fact, breakdown always precedes the build-up. That's what exercise really is. Exercise is muscles breaking down. This precedes build-up. Breakdown always precedes build-up. In the skincare world, breakdown of the stratum corneum, the surface layer of the skin, precedes buildup of connective tissue. So if you're dealing with wrinkles, you can actually work out your skin. I started a whole skincare company that was based on this concept. Some of you guys know about it, Sneaga Skincare. All right, we're coming back with more good health information. Don't go away. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. Talking about anabolism, bodybuilding. We're all bodybuilders. We all should be bodybuilders. We all should be just like those guys in the muscle mags, if not that extreme, in principle, because that's what health is about. Health is about regeneration. Health is about healing. Health is about tissue building itself. Health is about an excess of anabolism, an excess of building over breakdown. We want to be in the black. If the body's a business, it's either in the red or in the black. We want to be in the black. That's what it means to be net anabolic. If you are not net anabolic, you are breaking down. That's what degenerative disease means. It means you're not net anabolic, you're net breakdown, net catabolic. Rhode Island, we got about a minute. I wonder, you got something quick for us?
Just Mike?
Yeah. No, you're Mike. I'm Ben.
I know that. Just for Mike is what I meant to say. A friend of mine, he had an implant to boost his testosterone, which I think is not really good to do. Okay. And I was wondering if there were natural ways.
Yeah, oh yeah. Here's the thing with testosterone.
A little bit.
Yes, sir. Thanks for your call, Mike. Appreciate it. Here's the deal with testosterone. And I see these commercials for Androgel and low T, and that seems to be the latest fad health disorder that drug companies want us to be medicated for. If you're dealing with low levels of testosterone, the first thing you want to do is focus on your blood sugar and your insulin. We touched on this yesterday and the day before. We'll probably talk about it a little bit more tomorrow. Testosterone and insulin are interconnected. As our bodies stop listening to insulin, what tends to happen is our bodies stop listening to testosterone as well, and there's also a connection between insulin and estrogen. So insulin resistance is associated with poor male response or poor bodybuilding response, poor muscle building response, and elevated insulin is also associated with feminization, and that means feminization in men or extra feminization in women. So the first thing to do if you're dealing with low libido or you can't gain muscle mass, you're going to the gym and muscles aren't developing, or you're using your androgel or you're using your testosterone injections and you're not getting the benefits that you want, what you want to do is look at insulin resistance, look at elevated blood sugar, and I don't care if your doctor told you that you're not a diabetic. It doesn't matter. You could be a pre-diabetic, and that can have an effect as well. So reducing your intake of refined sugars and upping your intake of building proteins, not just any protein. All food's going to have a certain amount of protein, or most food is going to have a certain amount of protein. I should say most unprocessed food is going to have a certain amount of protein. But when I say protein for testosterone, I'm talking about whey protein, egg protein, meat protein, or animal protein in general. These contain building substances. So more protein, less refined carbohydrates, focus on blood sugar, and then there's another strategy that you can use to help support testosterone. We'll talk about that tomorrow. That involves a hormone called aromatase. And we'll talk about that a little bit tomorrow. That's all we got time for. We got to take Dr. Group here at the bottom of the hour. If we left you on hold, I apologize. Give us a call back tomorrow. We're coming back at you on the bright side with more good health information. Don't go away.